Yo, shalom.
Shalom.
Yo, happy Monday.
Man.
I know we usually here on Tuesday. We try to do it tonight because we have a busy schedule this week, so this will be the only show this week.
For the next couple weeks.
Well, only one show this week, which is tonight, and we're gonna post this on YouTube after we go live because we still have a ban on our live streaming on our YouTube channel right now.
Which is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous, but it's about to be lifted. So,
all right, cool.
So we'll be back to normal next week, back on our regular channel. And next week, we're going to have some special shows for you next week. We're going to put it like that.
Yeah.
Next week, going to be special. So, but we definitely going to drop a show. No, next week is November. It's November.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
it's just around the corner, yeah. And we find the election thing behind us too, man. Like I can't wait.
Man.
Yeah, so we can be done with this whole thing. So tonight's show we talk about we talking about the fast food and the food deserts in the Black community.
Yeah.
And we had discussions about this before in the past, but this is the first time we really focusing on this on the show. But yeah, so I'm glad you're here on Twitch. I know it's been a little bit difficult for y'all. Hopefully Mod can put up a link to our Discord.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Discord. We there between shows, so you can see where we are and what's going on and whatnot. You can share ideas for the show and whatnot. But since you're here and you are watching us on YouTube, it's pre-recorded for you. Right. Hit the like button for us anyway. Subscribe.
Right.
And I'm glad you're here. But yeah, we talk about food deserts and fast food tonight and how it affects the Black community. So,
because it's one of those things when you look, you're able to see, just like we talk about the geographical racism, everything is designed, so it's one of those things where do you find the Whole Foods versus where do you find Church's Chicken? Yeah.
We just did a whole show about redlining.
Exactly.
So it's part of the same deal.
Which wasn't that the one that was taken down?
That's what we got flagged for.
Are they going to bring it back up?
Yeah, we should have the video back next week. Cool. Yeah. But that was a great show. So that actually kind of relates to this show. It already, like you say, geographic racism. And like you say, I go to a white neighborhood, I see a few more Chipotle's and healthier food options there.
Exactly. And
and over here, especially on the side that we at right now, McDonald's, Wendy's, the usual checkers, the usual fast food.
Literally what I pass it coming.
Yeah, and I don't think I have really any healthy fast food options in this neighborhood at all that I'm aware of.
The most healthy food you might find is at Ingles.
No, I ain't give it that. No, I had their food before, man.
Yeah, which ain't that healthy.
No, it ain't that healthy either, man. Yeah,
right.
So it's hard to find, but it's all part of the plan.
Right.
That we have around here, and actually,
it's killing us early, man.
Yeah, because right now we east of Atlanta, so we in Stone Mountain right now.
Yeah.
And just about, I want to say like a year ago, we had a Kroger, a Publix, and a Sam's Club all shut down within the 3-month period.
And I have heard that whenever they because Publix likes to be in nicer areas.
Yeah.
So when they shut down the Publix,
value going down.
Exactly. And Publix is trying to flee.
Yeah, and they didn't get employees any notice. Like they showed up to work and the doors were just locked. At least that would happen to Sam's Club.
Right.
So those type of things happen.
Yeah.
Those things happen, and then but we got a lot more dollar stores though. And one thing I noticed is the dollar stores they don't build $1 store. They build them in threes. And here where we at in this part of town, it got so bad that the county have a meeting to stop them from building dollar stores.
Good.
It could bring the value down, and then of course the food they sell there is not healthy at all.
Yeah, because it's $1.
It's $1. Yeah, man. And I used to work for a company. I hated that job, man. But I used to work for an inventory company.
Yeah.
And when one of the clients was the dollar store. So we had to go through there. We had to count, and you know how so much crap would be in a dollar store.
Yeah.
So we had to go there like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and count everything in that store, and we had to be done by the time the store opens.
How many people was it?
It was a big little squad. It's about 10 people, but it's a slave job. So
yeah.
So black people quit all the time there because it hardly pay any money. It's just counting with the machine to put you on the time schedule, plantation work.
Right.
And so you're thinking like, man, how did all this stuff is $1? And then I started looking at the products, made in China, made in China, made in China, made in China. Right. All the stuff came from China.
Oh no!
So
China's right with food.
Yeah. So at one point I was using some machine there. It messed up and told me the price of the actual product.
Really?
Yeah. The price was like 15 cents, and it was in it for $1. You know, so even when the U.S. are having these trade wars with China, and back and forth with the tariffs and stuff, the dollar stores won't affect it as much because either way they get charged $1 because it's that cheaply made.
Right.
And then the dollar store never throw away anything. So it's like so we counted toys that were there for 5 years and it's never sold, but they won't throw it away.
Right.
So now your typical resale store, the typical retail, it won't sell. They send it back. Dollar store, they keep it there. So it is nasty, it's dusty, sitting there.
So freaking disgusting.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So you got a high theft rate. Cheaply made product. And the food there is disgusting. But yeah, so it's crazy. But it's funny you see a dollar store on every block. But I can't. It's hard to find a true like a Sprouts or Whole Foods and even them.
You gotta travel.
And some of them be capping too on their prices and what they're selling too. So I mean, the only good thing I have in this part of town, we have a farmers market that hadn't been within 15 minutes.
Amazing. Yeah, the Cass Farmers Market.
Yeah, that's only if I didn't have that, and then you really been screwed,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about some of these food deserts. We're gonna talk about the fast food and how it affects our community. So we're gonna start off first with junk food advertising. So our first video gonna be about junk food advertising and how to target us and Hispanic kids.
Right.
Yeah, let me cue this thing up.
If you watch TV, then these ads are familiar. But according to a recent study, African American and Hispanic consumers in the U.S. are disproportionately exposed to ads promoting junk food. The Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity at the University of Connecticut found that of the more than $1 billion spent annually on advertising to blacks and Hispanics, 86% of spending targeting black consumers and 82% aimed at Hispanics was for junk food and sugary drinks. Food policy expert Michael Roberts has seen this kind of data before, but the impact is no less shocking.
I've been at this for a long time, and I was amazed. Not just in television advertising, but social media advertising, video games, and et cetera, et cetera. And it really caught me off guard.
The advertising blitz isn't the only problem facing low-income communities of color. There's also a lack of quality food options. These areas are called food deserts, a place where there are no good grocery stores or healthy restaurants. Instead, these areas are overrun by fast food restaurants and convenience stores.
Wow, look at.
That's where non-profit groups like PHFE Women, Infant and Children, or WIC, come into play. They provide educational and nutritional services to low-income families who often have higher health risks. There are nearly 50 centers throughout Southern California, which serve more than 200,000 people every month. People like Maria Zarate, who has learned to make better choices for her kids. But she's well aware of the food industry's tactics.
Especially when it means a trip to Wendy's.
They don't worry about their health. They don't worry about what problems they could cause them. They don't think about the kids at all. They just think about themselves making money, maybe. That's pretty much it.
WIC dietitian Jennifer Torres admits it sometimes feels like a David and Goliath situation.
It is an uphill battle. There can always be more resources and more programs that are going to be helping out our families get that knowledge and help them understand what is behind a food label or what is behind that ad, or, not all advertised healthy foods are healthy foods.
But it's also about taking legal action against companies pushing junk food.
If the advertising is actually creating unfairness in the marketplace, and one could argue that this kind of advertising is doing just that, then presumably a lawsuit or a cause of action could be filed under state law. We haven't really seen that attempted, but it's there and it's a possibility.
That's not food. This is food.
But there is a hurdle, the First Amendment, which protects free speech, and that includes commercial speech.
Right.
All the more reason that nutritional advocates like PHFE WIC embrace the adage, knowledge is power, which in turn can help level the playing field for communities that need it most. May Lee, CGTN, Los Angeles.
That's crazy.
And I mean, look at the Reese's Puffs, and even you see the difference between McDonald's commercials on the white channels versus the black channels. On the white channels, it's very straightforward. They have the toy. But on you flip to our channels and it's niggas singing and it's R&B song with the rap verse with it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny. Like you know, how people say there's no agenda, but if there's no agenda, that means marketing is not effective.
And why would they spend $1 billion in marketing if they're not getting it back? So it goes to show that they keep funneling that money.
Can they get a return?
Right.
They see a return off their investment. And not to go off topic, but this is something we ought to think about. If they that effective from advertising about food, think about all the other things they be advertising to our kids.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What kind of agendas they push and things that they want on your mind, on the right and the left.
Yeah, because I know when I was a kid, when I keep seeing these commercials, I wanted that cereal because I want to get that toy out of that cereal box.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted that sugary drink. I wanted McDonald's. So like my mom said when I was a child, before I can even barely know how to talk, I recognized the golden arches. I knew I wanted McDonald's.
Man, and that's the thing, because those different symbols, they you know, the mind works out symbols.
Symbols, yeah. Like that's why branding is such a big thing.
Right,
Marketing.
and they're in your head, man.
And it's repetitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot. But they just show you how much money they spend to get us to where we are right now.
Right.
So yes, but now we're about to go to Memphis, and they actually broke down an actual food desert. Yeah, exactly, Trini Smooth.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly my point. So if we are susceptible to this advertising on food, how can they say all the other things they can't be affected by it?
I'm starting to see whole TV shows.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
all the time. You know. Yeah, so we're about to go to Memphis, and we're about to explore a food desert. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, junk food is big business.
It's a billion-dollar business.
Yeah,
definitely, and we financing it.
Yeah, because they mainly push it to us.
Yeah, some of our politicians say healthcare is a privilege. Yes, they do say that. You know, it's funny how healthcare is a topic every election, yet it's still that way it needs to be. Yeah.
You know, but the thing about it is, if they do give you healthy food, how much money would healthcare make?
Right, exactly.
You know,
eating healthier. Yeah, but speaking of fast food, I'm glad y'all brought that up, because you got to go into why all these fast food buildings look the same.
Oh yeah,
it's by design.
That's an interesting topic.
Yep.
Have you noticed how all fast food restaurants are starting to look the same? Big windows, wood panels, darker tones, and the same boxy look. Over the years, consumer preferences have evolved, and recently, a new type of restaurant has entered the game to cater to those very preferences. For traditional fast food, it's either evolve or go extinct. The fast food formula was first developed by quick lunch establishments, where chains actively deterred patrons from lingering. Most restaurants went for a cafeteria style. Others made furniture intentionally uncomfortable.
They do, bro.
Check out this one-arm wooden chair. Looks nice, but the faster you turn tables, the more money you make. As time passed, new trends arrived. In the 50s and 60s, fast food applied the principles of production line manufacturing, also known as the speedy service system. And by the 80s and 90s, drive-thrus reiterated the model of a speedy service.
You like Logic.
But in the late 80s and early 90s, a new type of restaurant entered the scene. Chipotle and Panera turned fast food dining on its head when they popularized a new concept.
He did look like Logic.
That's Logic's next career path.
I retired from rapping and now fast food. That's a big drop off. Right.
Fast casual. There isn't a specific definition for fast casual, but most define it as just a quick service restaurant with higher quality food at higher prices. The lines are definitely blurred, and they're all using a similar model where you order and pay before you consume. But fast casual restaurants are known for prioritizing freshness and comfort. This model wasn't initially successful, but started to take hold toward the end of the 2000s. At that point, they took off. Traditional quick service fast food restaurants could no longer rely on what worked for decades. Today, Fast food restaurants are responding by evolving into fast casual restaurants
Man, look how
themselves.
big that is.
Most chains are
That's
adopting
crazy.
new technologies and adjusting menus to focus on freshness. But what's most noticeable is their outward appearance. They still serve the staple items that have defined the brand.
The same crap.
To present themselves in a new light.
I think that McDonald's was first to kind of come out with this more modern expression of what quick serve restaurants could be, and I think there was a lot of following. There was a lot of, okay, we need to address this with our own store. So Wendy's followed and Burger King followed. I think it is a thing where we have to be perceived as new and fresh and offering food that is new and fresh. What has changed within our restaurant? We want to communicate that to the customer on the outside, and the easiest way to do that is through architecture and interior design.
As fast food restaurants reinvent themselves, most are choosing to follow a particular aesthetic.
Every one of those companies has a checklist. The checklist includes, we need to show that we're clean. So we're going to have windows so you can see inside. We need to show that it's safe. So we're going to have it brightly lit, and there's going to be a lot of glass. We need to have a big sign. We're seeing fast food and fast casual restaurants kind of catching up on those 10-year, 8-year, 7-year ago trend. Inside and outside, it's the same project, it's the same story, it's the same menu, it's the same brand. So it's like a symphony, and they need to really go together and be part of the whole story.
Fast casual restaurants raised the bar, and fast food chains emulated the trend.
Mm-hmm.
The new consumer is gravitating toward natural materials when they go out into public spaces. So fast food restaurants are doing exactly that. The once bright, garish colors of the 70s and 80s are no longer in fashion. Gone are the golden arches that embellished McDonald's iconic look, and in are the more contemporary-styled buildings you see now.
For us, we had a real design brief that was focused around being
Pringle.
Fresh, being
Right.
contemporary, being relevant, making sure that we actually brought the outside
With the Hebrew name.
fresh light, natural
Really,
light.
Pringle?
A place
No,
that actually
Ariel.
served a lot of
Oh, I was looking at
so
Pringle.
You want to be able to
I
design.
was like, I'm
with
thinking Pringle was
intentionality.
Hebrew.
How do you think about the customer journey from literally the moment that they see the sign on the street and what the logo in the sign says, to what gets them in the parking lot, to what gets them in the restaurant, either the drive-thru or the dining room, that we think about that experience all along.
We're talking about fast food,
The
Pringle.
concept of the kitchen being the showpiece in the 50s was no longer, and quick service restaurants like Wendy's wanted to incorporate the same ideas as fast casual restaurants.
They wanted to change the perception of a quick service restaurant. So one of the things that they wanted to do was to create a restaurant where they pulled some ideas from the fast casual industry and applied it to Wendy's. And this is just one particular restaurant. They're not doing this everywhere. It was an effort to merge the two concepts of fast casual being food that's slightly better for you. How can we change the perception that our food is good for you as well? And a lot of that comes down to presentation. It's the same food.
It's like, so basically what we're trying to do is take the fast casual look and give you the same shit.
Basically.
That's basically their approach.
You just repackaging the same crap.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, making it look nice
Glass
and
breaks.
hip.
My God, jokes.
Same fries, the same hamburger, but if we present it not only in a packaging way that's different, but also we literally present it to the customer from a service standpoint, then the perceived value of that meal goes way up. And that's what Wendy's really was trying to do with this new restaurant.
But incorporating these redesigns wasn't up to Wendy's or other fast food restaurants.
95% of our
Exactly,
restaurants
some
around the
marketing.
world are franchised. So we said,
Marketing
how
the same
can
thing.
franchisees, their hearts and their minds, and more importantly, their wallets, get involved in investing in the business? And what we did is we said, let's actually do it ourselves. So we as a company, we took a leadership role and invested in our company restaurants and said, look, if it's good for us and we're willing to do it, and here's what the performance is, you should try it too. And so what happened is that we created this great momentum around the brand and what we did around design, and then it created great, exciting stories.
Some steak and shake or something.
While fast food is seemingly undergoing
cookout.
a drastic makeover,
Oh, yeah.
you'll find that the core product remains relatively untouched. McDonald's still has the Big Mac, Burger King the Whopper, and KFC's original recipe chicken remains original. Because what it really comes down to is profits. And today, that means balance. Fast food restaurants can relatively simply evolve their aesthetic while retaining their core product and consumer base. And the easiest aesthetic to apply is the one proven.
Unfortunately, it's a complete lack of creativity. It's corporate America. I mean, and I'm not trying to kind of crap on anybody here, but there's no
bird bite.
Real thought about this. You could change the Wendy's sign and put a McDonald's sign on it, and it would look like a McDonald's. Nobody's thinking about the brand.
If it ends up looking like that, that was never the intention, because Wendy's has so much understanding of who their customer is and why their customer goes or comes to their store. They're all trying to get the same type of customer and wanted to see if they could steal from the Five Guys of the world and from the Shake Shacks of the world, pull those customers into their restaurant. How are they going to do that? There's only so many things I guess you can do with a 2,000 square foot box. They're trending towards going after the same customer. That may be why they're starting to look like, but they never start at the same place.
Man, I'm loving the soundtrack to that video.
That was nice.
Man, the video, like the music was damn good. Like that retro 80s vibe.
It really fit the whole thing with the fast food and the different designs.
Yeah. Interesting story. I don't know if it's true or not. I never went back to really research it, but somebody told me, McDonald's spent millions and millions of dollars, to figure out where to put McDonald's at. Whether it be the prime real estate to get the most customers or whatever.
Right.
So apparently, they say this executive at Wendy's, his job was to do the same thing. And so, but what he did to save money, instead of doing his own research, he just started putting Wendy's next to McDonald's.
Wow.
I was like, that's true, man.
That's confident, bro.
But they're genius. Like, you let them pay for all the research and money, and you just like, I'm going to pay for the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you already did it, so it must be a good location. You're profitable. You put Wendy's right here.
That works. And hey, they might even put it closer to a major thing.
Yeah, and then they already look alike anyway, because they all damn near had the same designer.
Right.
Like I said, all the boxes look alike, color schemes and everything.
But the thing is, when it comes to the tier of fast food, McDonald's is here and Wendy's is here. They're all crap.
Yeah. But it's like this one small tier head.
It's a little bump.
Yeah, but ever since somebody told me that, in most cases when I see McDonald's, I see a Wendy's nearby.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a subconscious thing or what, but
you say one of those things, once you notice it, you can't.
Yeah. It was like when you drive a car.
Yeah.
And you won't start seeing your car till you start driving that car.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you're like, dang.
Like everybody got my car.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
And Wendy's is so petty, bro.
They are. Yeah, Wendy's dropped the mixtape. You remember the mixtape and the girl rapping? And it's like, yeah, why your ice cream machine always broke?
Man, like, that was Wendy herself.
Yeah,
man.
Well, and the Twitter accounts to be going in.
Yeah,
I be wondering, like, how you get that job? Like, every time I go into Indeed or Monster.com, I never see petty social media manager.
Man,
because if I find it, I would apply for it.
Right, to talk crap, man.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they pay good.
Yeah, you have to, man, to be witty and whatnot.
Right.
Oh man, the next I know, right? Yeah, right.
And Wendy's do got that little edge on McDonald's.
You do, to me, of how quality way to present it.
But McDonald's is like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, especially now. To me, it don't taste like it used to.
Word.
To me, because now I can't even stand the smell of it. Compared to when I was younger, I don't know because of my age, taste buds getting better, but I think the ingredients may have changed. Cheaper product to be more profitable.
When I worked at McDonald's, I used to tell people the only thing that I know is somewhat real is the egg.
The egg was real.
The egg. I mean, because we had to crack it.
Yeah.
Everything else was already prepackaged, pre-seasoned, and frozen. You just popped it in the fryer, or you put it on the grill, and that was it. It was done.
They're crazy. The next video, we're going back to the dollar store. How Dollar General is putting the local grocery stores out of business.
Dollar stores are everywhere in the U.S. today, and depending on where you live, you could even have more than one on your street. Whether it's Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, or some other 99-cent store, the dollar store business is booming. Ready for some mind-blowing statistics? From toys to crafting supplies, there's an abundance of plastic for sale in dollar stores, and it's not particularly safe. A 2015 report found that a staggering 81% of plastic items in dollar stores contained at least one hazardous chemical. These chemicals have been linked to all sorts of concerning health issues, including cancer and birth defects. Polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, for example.
And the reason we bring up the dollar store, of course, is the fact that we see so much of them in our neighborhoods.
Yeah, so whenever there's a food desert, there's a dollar store.
Yeah, multiple dollar stores.
Multiple dollar stores.
Like roaches, man.
Example has been linked to asthma and lung effects and was found to be in 38% of the plastics tested. Some dollar store brands have pledged to remove the amount of toxic plastic in their stores. In May 2019, Dollar Tree, which owns Family Dollar, Dollar General, and 99 Cents Only,
they own all the dollar stores. All these brands.
It's all the same thing.
All the same damn thing.
Man.
said it would work to phase out lead and dangerous chemicals from its products, though the company hasn't laid out exactly what significant steps it's taking to filter hazardous chemicals out or when it will happen. A report by the nonprofit group Institute for Local Self-Reliance found that when dollar stores move into economically vulnerable low-income areas, they quickly push out other stores. The report's authors said, although dollar stores sometimes fill a need in places that lack basic retail services, there's growing evidence that these stores are not merely a byproduct of economic distress, they're a cause of it. Many dollar stores don't carry produce or offer the option of grocery delivery, and when they force smaller grocery stores to close, they create food deserts where residents often have higher rates of obesity and a lower life expectancy. For people who may not have the means to travel outside of their neighborhoods to shop, whatever is on the shelf at their dollar store is what they're stuck with. Dollar Tree cheese product, for example, might look like American cheese, but is lacking dairy in its ingredients. Some dollar stores do carry fresh meat, but one news station that tested dollar store steaks found that when it comes to USA beef, those $1 steaks are basically the equivalent of school cafeteria food. A 2017 ABC5 report found that over the course of just 3 years, more than 33 crimes ranging from robbery to assault were reported at Cleveland area dollar stores. Attorney David Steiger, who represents dollar store employees involved in robberies, told the news channel,
people are getting hurt. They know that their employees are getting hurt. And if they're not changing anything, that's not by accident.
Crime targeting dollar stores isn't limited to any particular city either. Bernie Cobb, a retired Shelby County, Tennessee police officer, said, the criminals know that there are no security guards there. Some of these stores, even though they have been robbed several times, refuse to put security guards in stores. Dollar stores also have high rates.
It's funny because remember the same inventory job.
Yeah.
I think one of the stores that we did was like, I want to say it was Family Dollar. And so I was counting. There's somebody came over with a loudspeaker randomly, who talking, what's going on? Found out that each Family Dollar was connected to a satellite, and somebody from the main office would check in every hour, every other hour, to make sure they wasn't being robbed.
Hey, y'all good over there?
Exactly. Yo, y'all straight over there? Y'all okay? The cashier yeah.
We ain't get robbed yet.
Yeah, alright. And then they keep on going I cannot make this up. I'm not even exaggerating.
Funny, bro.
It's funny, but it's sad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dang, bro, y'all had to check in every other hour. Is that bad?
Sound like something from the Boondocks.
But y'all want to put a security guard in there? It's still a dollar product.
They don't got a security guard, but they got a whole satellite.
And then you already know, and you know they'll keep that much money in the till.
Right.
So you robbing a dollar store, you probably get what $150 maybe?
You doing all that for $150, bro?
Man, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I promise you I'm not making it up. I used to do this job for a living. I hated that job. Yeah, and I was just counting stuff up, man. I'm like, hey, who's talking over a loudspeaker? And they told me yo, that's the headquarters. Make sure they ain't get robbed. That's crazy. Sad, man. And then this was a few years ago. It's been a minute I was doing this. Yeah.
Rates of shoplifting. It's easy to think that something which only costs $1 or a few dollars at most wouldn't be a hot item for five-finger discount shoppers, but that's hardly the case. A Dollar Tree employee named Brenda told Mental Floss that the cheap prices actually make shoplifting worse. She said, "The thing with the low prices is that there is no real deterrent from people stealing since none of the products have any security around them." Dawn Huey managed a Michigan Dollar General and injured herself while unloading boxes at her job, which often called for 70-hour work weeks.
What?
Her doctor ordered her to take 2 weeks off, and Dollar General fired Huey on her third day back on the job for what they said were productivity problems unrelated to her injury. Because retail managers like Huey are told they're only allowed to hand out a certain number of hours, they're saddled with handling the rest of the tasks themselves. This results in a high workload, high turnover, and employee injuries. Stores like Dollar General aren't breaking any laws by doing this. Under the Fair Labor Standards Act, companies must pay hourly employees time and a half for overtime on a 40-hour work week, but this doesn't apply to salaried management. But in the retail world, those managerial lines are blurred. In the dollar store retail industry, companies have an incentive to push extra work onto managers. Regular employees at Dollar Tree generally make close to minimum wage, with the average pay being $9.63 an hour, and hours can be hard to come by. Employees on Indeed say that their work weeks are often broken up into 4 or 5 hour shifts, and that they typically get just a few days a week. Employees have also complained, and in some cases even sued, for being told that they had to clock out when taking their allotted 10-minute break. Dollar Tree eventually settled a lawsuit filed by 4,200 employees who were forced to work off the clock and paid out $600,000. It's also not uncommon, say dollar store employees, to be bumped up to the role of manager only so that the company can avoid paying overtime. Dawn Huey took home $34,700 with her manager salary, but after factoring in all the extra hours on the job she had to work, Huey wasn't making much more than other store employees, only around $10 an hour.
Think about that very fast. That's why, man, when it comes to restaurants and retail, I've always wanted to avoid the position of a manager like the plague.
They overwork you, underpay you.
Yeah, man.
And everything they say in the video is true, because I remember seeing these job openings years ago. Like, you know, you look for job openings, and they say, man, they the manager, they put, I actually know a couple of people that did this job, and, you know, to avoid paying overtime, they put them on a salary.
Right.
And like I said, once you put all the extra hours in, which you basically living at the store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You talk about 40, 50, 60 hours, you don't have time to do anything else.
When you home, right.
You know what I mean? Like home, doing side projects or anything, and you want to make it like, so like say the employee, they still the average making $9.60 an hour. By the time the manager do all that overtime, they probably making 10.
Right. And not only
$11.
And not only are you doing the same, probably the same work as the employees, you got a bunch of stress on your head.
On top of all that.
On top of it, man.
I remember a guy used to be a manager at a Dollar Tree, a young guy. You know, one of the ones, the regular employee that bumped him up, he thought it was a good opportunity.
Right.
But he was always there. But of course, because of the salary he was making, he was staying in the hood with the rest of us, you know?
Right.
And so you know how it is in certain neighborhoods. You have some guys that stay on the stoop all day. They're selling weed or whatever. They're always at home. So after a while, of course, they started noticing the pattern. You know, when he was not there, when he was at work. And dude didn't have much, because look at where you live. So he already didn't have much anyway.
Exactly.
They hit him up anyway, and the main thing he had of value was Xbox. And they came in and took it. You know, so this man, you at work all damn day. He just wanted to go home and play a game or two, man. Like, this the kid back.
And they took the one thing.
And he violated his, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Tulsa, Oklahoma has seen its share of dollar stores come into the city, squashing smaller grocery stores in the predominantly black area of North Tulsa.
Right.
In an effort to prevent the next dollar store from popping up, city officials voted to restrict any new dollar stores from opening in certain districts within a mile of an existing dollar store. City council person...
It got that bad.
Within a mile.
It got that bad. And they did the same thing here in Atlanta, in DeKalb County.
Man.
They kept building up so many of them, they had to step in like, yo, y'all need to stop building these damn dollar stores. How many do we need?
For them to say within a mile, that's not even that much of a distance. How many dollar stores are within a mile?
Right. Crazy. But you can't find a grocery store, though.
Right.
And Vanessa Hall Harper said,
I shop at discount dollar stores when I need something that they provide. What I am concerned about is the proliferation of them and the ultimate effects that they have on communities.
The move so far has proved effective, and after seeing the success in Tulsa, other towns and cities such as Mesquite, Texas, and Birmingham, Alabama are working to give relief to their food deserts by restricting how many dollar stores can open in certain areas. For all the negatives that are associated with the rapid growth of dollar stores, there have to be some positives, right? Well, according to one survey, the majority of Americans still have a positive view of dollar stores, regardless of the brand. Where retailers like Target and Walmart have placed more emphasis on charitable giving to big causes like the American Red Cross to improve their image, dollar stores seem to have taken a more local approach. Dollar General, for example, has a 25-year-old literacy program that works to help employees and residents within 20 miles of its stores. Family Dollar has poured millions into supporting local food banks. John Strong, a professor of business at the College of William and Mary, said, "Each of the 3 major dollar stores have thought pretty carefully about their community support strategy, and they've localized it. Dollar stores are also more common than big box stores in rural areas, giving residents an extra opportunity for employment, as well as access to national brands. While dollar stores may do a good bit of damage, many of the people that they serve don't necessarily see them as a bad thing." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus,
yeah, because that's once again, you got these big franchises and killing small business.
Right.
Like Walmart.
Man. And that's why, man, so many it kills independence in America, man.
You do.
You know?
And we know that all this stuff that they make it so cheap is, they come from China, from dollar stores. And then the food is processed.
It's processed, it's fried, they leave it there.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. Well, I guess we watched this. What the dollar store food so cheap? Well, why the food at the dollar store?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are dollar stores able to sell food for so cheap and still turn a profit? The answer to that question is a calculated formula that dollar stores have devised to keep prices low, and we're going to break it down. Location is the name of the game in business, and if a company wants to be in the busy part of town, it's going to cost them. However, it's not uncommon to see dollar stores in lower income sections of a city, or in a totally rural area. It's a smart business move, and choosing to operate in areas that Target, Walmart, or Whole Foods won't bother to go has proven highly effective for the growth of dollar stores. Opening and operating in these areas is simply less expensive, and this helps keep prices down. Many dollar stores don't buy the land their stores are on either, which means that if they're not doing well, they can just pick up and move. If a Dollar General can keep the lights on and skip out on the pricey property taxes that a Publix is going to pay, it's going to be able to sell its food for much cheaper. Yes, you'll find nationally known brands that you're familiar with in the dollar store, but you're also likely to see a lot of brands that you've never seen in Walmart or other grocery stores. This is because many of the brands on the shelf are the dollar store's own brands. By going the private route, dollar stores are able to have lower margins since they don't have to deal with buying from a major label. Dollar General, for example, can cut back on buying peanuts from Planters and coffee from Folgers by offering these goods under its own Clover Valley label. Dollar General CEO Todd Voss said that the store's own private brands were, quote, an important part of our strategy in driving sales. And because they cost dollar stores less money, they're often priced considerably lower than name brand products. Plus, according to Fortune, Dollar General sells no more than 10,000 products in its stores, while a Walmart might stock 10 times that number. By selling a limited selection of popular national brands, dollar stores have a much smaller inventory to keep track of and can maximize their smaller space. Are you sensing a theme here with dollar stores in regards to keeping things small? Well, that's also going to factor into those super cheap, only $1 prices you're getting on food too. If you want a jumbo-sized bottle of barbecue sauce, then hit up a Sam's Club. However, if a 10-ounce bottle will do, then your local dollar store has you covered. Dollar stores like Dollar Tree may offer not just fewer varieties of a product, but often smaller sizes than what you might normally find at a supermarket. To some, these might seem like travel-sized portions, but according to Fortune, the stores are going after only what customers can afford at the moment. But there's a catch. When compared to the size of products that a shopper might find in a grocery store or Walmart, the dollar price doesn't always translate to a good deal. For example, ABC Action News found that buying a box of Ritz crackers at both dollar stores and then at Walmart cost $2.50. But the dollar store boxes contain 3 ounces less. The same often happens to be true for other foods like milk, flour, and chips. One might assume that if all the stuff in your basket are $1 each or just a few bucks more, you're probably not getting very good quality. And yes, in some cases, the food at a dollar store can be pretty bad. Sometimes you just get what you pay for.
I wish to complain about this parrot, what I purchased not half an hour ago from this very boutique.
However, it's safe to assume that a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup is going to taste the same whether you buy it at Dollar General or Kroger. So it is possible to make a solid week's worth of meals from groceries purchased at a dollar store and not find yourself constantly reaching for the Pepto-Bismol. And there's more good news on this front too. While some dollar stores are going to have a better food selection than others, Dollar General did announce plans to expand its fresh produce availability to 450 of its stores beginning in 2019. Dollar General and other dollar stores are growing at a
I can't remember the last time I saw fresh produce at a dollar store. 2019.
Yeah, not to my knowledge, not that I noticed.
Man,
yeah,
the fresh produce is in.
Maybe it is right before. It is right before the whole seat thing happened too.
Yeah, that is true.
Rapid rate, and because of this, they can often snag really good bulk deals from national brands. According to Fortune, brands like Coca-Cola and Hershey didn't always pay much attention to the dollar store segment of the grocery business. But with the massive growth of small box stores, national brands are now ready to play ball. This means that they'll offer dollar stores those smaller sized products, and as well as higher quality point of sale displays that were once only for higher end retailers. Because of their buying power, dollar stores can convince brands like Campbell's Soup to make a specially sized can of tomato soup that can be bought at a low bulk price, and other stores can't compete. Check out one of our newest videos right here.
Wow. Yeah, and I had noticed that. So, like, if Coke normally sells a 20-ounce bottle, and, but you go to the dollar store, it may be like a weird number, like 13 ounces.
Right.
Just to keep it at that price point.
For about, and just like they said in the video, sometimes it's about the same price.
Yeah.
So what's even the point? But the point, I guess the point is it's more convenient and everything is there.
Yeah.
Everything there is cheap, so the overall trip is cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those things where, the quality is crap.
Yeah, it will boil down to.
Right.
Yeah. Our last video, we're going to, we found a nice, interesting video about Beyond Meat. I always had questions about Beyond Meat because it's only the brand came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a vegan brand. And then
the concept is just, it's odd, man.
Yeah. And then, but my thing is, if you're going to be vegan, bro. But don't be vegan and then turn everything into that look like meat. Like it look like chicken, but it's not. It look like steak, but it's not. Like no, like you want to eat plants, damn it.
But their excuse is, but vegans are often doing it for moral reasons.
Yeah, but you take that L. Like, you go out there, you go eat those damn lettuce and carrots. Goddamn it! Like don't take that lettuce and carrot and try to mold it into a chicken wing.
Right?
No, you eat it as it came out the ground.
It's like you want to do it for moral reasons.
Yeah, you know that's you gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But I saw to me a red flag was when I saw seeing the fast food companies picking up Beyond Meat.
Oh, hell no.
Like Taco Bell, KFC had a test market here in Atlanta for a Beyond Meat chicken. I don't know what happened with that, but it was here.
But KFC, man, I don't think
you already know.
Yeah, they really don't. Have you seen the pictures of the KFC chicken?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's real. But
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It was another brand. Del Taco was offering Beyond Meat tacos.
What the heck?
Yeah. So when I started seeing this plant-based brand getting commercialized, that's when I started raising questions because. And then you got to think about it too, man. The Whopper. That's not what I was thinking about.
Yeah, they had that burger.
Right. You know what I mean? And like a vegan was telling me, well, it's still being cooked on a meat grill.
Right.
They don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you still get that meat grease on your burger.
Yeah.
I doubt they have a separate grill for all that.
Yeah, they're not gonna invest like that.
Yeah. So I figured, this is a good time to look into it. So we talk about health and food and this and that. So we look into this video here. Like you don't want to play, god dang. You don't want to get exposed. There you go.
Beyond Meat seems to be taking the world by storm.
Right.
More and more restaurants are adding Beyond Meat to their menu, and their stock continues to climb. But I'm here to tell you that Beyond Meat isn't all it's worked up to be, and how it might be negatively impacting your health. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything that is wrong with Beyond Meat. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate, I'm a health coach and I post videos on a high-fat, nutrient-dense way of eating. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, feel free to share, and make sure to subscribe.
Beyond Meat?
And also make sure to follow me
on
Instagram, and Facebook, where I share new posts every single day. The first thing that is wrong with Beyond Meat is that it is not healthy. And it actually contains several harmful ingredients.
Wow.
The ingredients include water, pea protein, expeller pressed canola oil, refined coconut oil, rice protein, natural flavor, cocoa butter, mung bean protein, methicellulose, potato starch, apple extract, pomegranate extract, salt, potassium chloride, vinegar, lemon juice concentrate, sunflower lecithin, and beetroot juice extract for color. For anyone who's counting, that is 20 ingredients. And there are a few red flags that jump out at me immediately. Let's start at the top of the list with pea protein. The Beyond Meat burger markets itself by saying there are 20 grams of protein in every patty. First off, pea protein is not a complete protein source. This means it does not contain all essential amino acids, which all animal protein does. And I assume this is why these burgers also contain mung bean protein and rice protein to fill in the gaps. Now, before we hit on pea protein too much, it is actually one of the most easily digestible plant sources of protein, on paper at least. The Protein Digestibility Corrected Amino Acid Score, or PDCAAS, is a method of evaluating the quality of a protein based on humans' ability to digest it. 1 is the highest score, and this is where you'll find eggs, milk, whey protein, and even soy. But soy has its own set of issues that we're not going to get into today.
Right.
Chicken has a score of 0.95, beef has a score of 0.92, and pea protein concentrate is 0.89, which, I mean, yeah, that's pretty good, again, on paper. But even though the PDCAAS score accounts for digestibility, it does not account for amino acids that are lost in the ileum, which is a section of your colon. And this matters because this is where most anti-nutrient absorption takes place. Peas are high in anti-nutrients such as lectins and phytates. So are we really getting the amino acids that are in pea protein? It's hard to know. But even beyond protein, where is the nutrition? Heme iron, B12, selenium, zinc, CLA. These are all in beef, but not in Beyond Meat. My other concern with pea protein is the processing it has to go through. Hexane is often used to separate the protein in plants from the oil and fiber. And what is hexane, you might be asking? And why does it matter? I like how this plant-based website, vegfrequentlyaskedquestions.com, puts it. In a nutshell, hexane is a solvent used in the extraction process to isolate the protein. However, not all of the hexane can be removed. Hexane is a chemical neurotoxin. That's a fact. The debate is around how much of it does there need to be to cause harm. Short answer, we don't know yet. Based on current safety limits, protein powders should be pretty safe. But if you want to be cautious and avoid it, that's completely understandable. Hexane is a chemical neurotoxin. It is a byproduct of petroleum. The EPA has this to say about the side effects of hexane. Inhalation exposure of humans to high levels of hexane causes mild central nervous system effects, including dizziness, giddiness, slight nausea, and headache. Chronic exposure to hexane in the air is associated with polyneuropathy in humans, with numbness in the extremities, muscular weakness, blurred vision, headaches, and fatigue observed. Moving along, the next red flag ingredient is canola oil. Now, if you've watched my video on vegetable oil, I'll link it above, you will already know how I feel about canola oil, which is considered a vegetable oil. But basically, the type of oil that canola oil is very delicate. It oxidizes very easily when exposed to heat, light, and oxygen. Consuming oxidized oils leads to oxidative stress in the body. This plays a major part in the development of chronic and degenerative illness such as cancer, autoimmune disorders, aging, cataract, arthritis, and cardiovascular and neurodegenerative diseases. Yes, this canola oil says that it's expeller pressed, which would mean it wouldn't be exposed to much heat during processing, but I am 99.9% sure that this burger is going to be exposed to some heat before cooking. Nobody's eating this raw.
Burr.
On top of that, heating canola oil also leads to trans fat being created. In one study, the trans fat content in canola oil was between 0.56% and 4.2% of the total fat. And then let's talk about natural flavors. This is such a vague term. I have no idea how this is allowed to be on nutrition labels. When we hear the word natural, we assume that it's actually natural and not chemically created. However, since the FDA hasn't officially defined natural, it can be used to describe almost any type of food. Here's a description of what natural flavor really means. Natural flavors are complex mixtures created by specially trained food chemists known as flavorists. In addition to their original flavor source, these mixtures can contain more than 100 different chemicals, including preservatives, solvents, and other substances. These are defined as incidental additives. However, food manufacturers aren't required to disclose whether these additives come from natural or synthetic sources. As long as the original flavoring source comes from a plant or animal material, it is classified as a natural flavor.
I'm drinking this Sprite here and says natural flavors.
Oh no! Natural flavor in Beyond Beef. It is anybody's guess. The next thing that I think is wrong with Beyond Meat burgers is that they are highly processed. This sort of ties in with my first point, but let's start off by taking a look at what the process actually is to extract protein from peas. It's a pretty extensive process.
And that's just one ingredient.
Way out. Look at how many ingredients there are. All of these components need to come from different places, be processed differently, and then they all come together to be processed to create this burger. There's an Instagram infographic, I think Biohacking Chick created it, where she shows where each ingredient came from in the world to create the Beyond Meat burger. I can't find it right now. If I can, I'll put it up on the screen. But I mean, yeah, that really just puts it into perspective. There's a really good article on medium.com called Is Food Tech the Future of Food? I'll link to it down below if you want to check it out afterwards. Basically, it talks about how we're innovating and creating all these new processes and foods, but are they even safe to consume, let alone sustainable? Any changes to genes can have unintended impacts on an organism, species, or ecosystem. That's why safety studies are so important. While there are suggested assessments and regulations being proposed for the USDA, they are riddled with loopholes that would allow many gene-edited foods to slip through the cracks. The World Health Organization states that it is not possible to make blanket safety statements about GMOs. They must be decided on a case-by-case basis. Without such studies, we are operating largely in the dark in making major decisions about our food system. Companies introducing these new GMOs to the market are essentially self-regulated and are asking consumers to blindly trust them. We are the first population eating these types of food, if you can even call it that, and we have no idea what the ramifications will be. On the other hand, we evolved eating meat, and there is no study proving that meat causes any disease. On top of that, meat can be raised sustainably. Promoting people vote with their dollar and choose ethically raised meat is a simpler and more effective solution. While Beyond Meat stock...
See, a little bit biased there because we know how America is. Like they cut corners for more profit. Yeah. So a lot of these animals are poorly raised and fed, and do lead to and do lead to sickness and disease from eating some of these products.
Right.
No, they all not free range chickens and
and healthy cows and wide open green pastures.
Right. Yeah.
Seems to be doing increasingly well. I ultimately don't think that people want to be eating these fake meats, no matter how much they are pushed down our throats. I was in Canada in the summer, where I'm from, and I saw a clear example of this at Tim Hortons. Last year, they introduced the Beyond Meat burger, and I could not believe the amount of advertising they put into this.
After a tough morning, you crave satisfying, mouth-watering plants.
Plants?
Plants.
Yeah.
Try Tim Hortons' new 100% plant-based Beyond Meat breakfast sausage.
You're welcome.
That was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it was.
TV ads on all the time. So I was actually a bit surprised when they announced in September they were pulling it from all of their stores except for in Ontario and BC. And then what happened next? In January, they pulled it from Ontario and BC as well. I think this just goes to show that the product isn't what the market wants. Yes, when we're online, plant-based advocates are everywhere, and they're...
Well, she's in Canada, obviously, but, you know, America is a totally different thing, because plant-based is the new wave right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that different.
Yeah,
up there
she's so, that's she get biased, because now she's so pro meat. Yeah, she's pro meat.
Right.
Loud. But does that actually translate to the real world? I don't think so. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the Beyond Meat burger in the comment section down below. Do you think this craze is here to stay, or will it die down? Let me know down below. Remember to give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah, she has some good information.
Yeah, right. When she went left a little bit towards the end there.
Right, with the pro meat and yeah,
but I mean, basically, you know, to get out of it, fast food is fast food, exactly, plant-based or not.
And with something like the Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger, it's one of those things where it's still processed, it's still GMO. You know what I mean? The same way, just because it's plant-based doesn't mean much, because you try to avoid GMO foods in the store.
Right.
You know, so them putting all that within a little patty, it's worse.
Hey man, if y'all want to, man, y'all can thank President Barack for that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Cause before he left office, he signed the Monsanto Protection Act. You know, Monsanto known for the GMOs.
Gosh, bro.
So that one thing he signed before he left office. So you know,
only do I black the blue. I want to kill y'all niggas.
So the GMOs in your food supply. Thank him for that. And mind you, Monsanto was, I think they were kicked out at the time. I want to say they were kicked out of 7 different countries.
Yeah, and those are probably the few countries that allow them anywhere near them.
No, it's funny because I want to say India is one of them, which is surprising considering you learn about the Ganges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, the water is nasty, but we are not eating that. I'm sorry. I would rather drink the water.
And Monsanto, I mean, and the issue with Monsanto with the GMO food, they use these things called suicide seeds. And so, you know, you have all this farmland, you got these farmers here, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, farmer uses his regular seeds, which, you know, any organic food has its own seed.
Yeah.
So if you're a farmer next door to you, tell you the GMO seed, they use this called suicide seeds. And like I say, capitalism, right?
Right.
So how these seeds work is after they bloom their fruit, it doesn't leave other fruit, it commits suicide. That's it. So you're forced to buy more seeds.
What the heck?
Now, if the wind hits a certain way, and so those Monsanto suicide seeds go into your organic farm, they can charge you for it.
Man, which is so evil. I've heard about that.
Yeah, like that's crazy as hell.
How can you literally, the man can't control how the wind blows.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like I just gotta get you to call on the storm to blow the shit right back.
Right.
Like, I don't know, man.
He just has a big old fan trying to blow it back.
Yeah, but it's a nasty game because, you know, because like say before, like capitalism, you had to keep making money regardless, and now you had to keep making money. You had to outdo the previous quarter,
right?
And that's a lot to do,
man. Just like well, I think it was in Mario when Andre 3000 said, you know, to whatever makes money. Now he's married to that cave.
Yeah, basically.
That's real, man.
Yeah, man. Like you're a slave to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our last video.
Short, sweet to the point.
Yeah, it was straight to the point, and we covered a lot though.
Yeah,
in the time frame, you know, dealing with the fast food, the history of fast food, how they target the black community and the Hispanic communities,
right?
The food deserts and how they place these dollar stores.
Man, there's so many different angles they attack us with, and the table really has become our snare.
Yeah,
and you're seeing all these different health issues, and now that's another thing that we had to deal with the health issues and having to be on these
all this stuff making us sick.
Insurance you got to be on, and
like
it's to the point where people think it's regular.
Yeah, like you can see how the people look in these neighborhoods from the diet they were eating.
Right, exactly.
You know, in comparison to some of these affluent neighborhoods, and of course they naturally healthier because, you know, like I said, a lot of this stuff comes down to the food.
Right.
You know, it's our product. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, man. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with us on the Monday night. I know it's outside our normal schedule, We are normally here Tuesday and Thursday nights on YouTube.
Yeah.
Next week we'll be back home on YouTube streaming live.
Right.
Reason we didn't do that today because YouTube have
still on its mess.
Yeah, they banned us from live streaming for 10 days.
Yeah.
So that's why we do it here on Twitch. But soon we are done, I'm gonna upload this video on YouTube, so everybody else can see the video.
Right.
Join our Discord. I can't stress that enough because that's where you can find us between shows.
Yeah.
This will be the only show for this week, so we want to leave you at least with one show this week. So Yeah, and we really didn't want to pre-record it and come and play it tomorrow. So we thought we'd go live with it tonight.
Exactly.
So I'm glad y'all here with us. McDonald's on the drug for the disease they deal with the food we create. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, and I appreciate you. Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. A lot of people that sell the disease and sell the cure.
Right.
This is a wicked place.
There's a lot of diseases that are made up. Like different symptoms, they put them together and they're like, okay, this is the disease and this is how we're curing
the C thing has a patent to it.
Right.
So which means it was created somewhere.
Exactly.
Somebody owns it.
Exactly.
So it's crazy. But I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great week.
Yeah.
Like I say, we will be active on Discord throughout the week. We won't have a show. So just keep, we be in touch.
Yeah.
Let us know what y'all like to see or upcoming shows. And until next time, shalom.
Shalom, y'all.
Every week, we take the time and resources to search the internet, dig through articles, and compile videos to expose the false narratives of Black history and topics that affect the Black community. We then share and walk you through our research live twice a week on YouTube to give you a different perspective that you won't find anywhere else. If you enjoy our production, please consider supporting our Patreon. Patreon allows fans of the show to contribute a monthly sum to push our show even further. All supporters will be invited to join our Discord as we discuss ideas and topics for future shows. To learn more about Patreon, check out the link below. Please continue to like and share our videos. Whether you're able to give or not, we appreciate you for being here with us. Shalom.